Imagine this for a second. It's the beginning of the month. You're sitting at the kitchen table drinking your morning coffee. You open your banking app like you always do, expecting to see your Social Security payment safely deposited. But something looks wrong. The amount is smaller than expected, maybe half, maybe even less. Your stomach drops. You refresh the page. You sign out and log back in. You search your spam folder. You check yesterday's mail, and then you notice it. A plain government envelope you almost tossed into the trash last week. Inside is a letter from the Social Security Administration. It says you were overpaid. It says they are taking the money back. It says your benefits have been reduced. You sit there trying to calculate everything. Your rent, your electric bill, your medications, your car insurance, your groceries, and suddenly you realize there is no way to cover all of it this month. If you're retired right now and your chest just tightened a little, listen very carefully because the rule that triggers this letter has changed 3 different times over the last 2 years, and most seniors still have no idea what the law currently says or how they can defend themselves. Hello, my friend. I'm a retirement policy researcher and senior finance specialist. My mission is simple. I take complicated retirement, tax, legal, and benefit rules that affect older Americans and explain them in plain language so you can protect every dollar you worked hard to earn. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to explain exactly what the Social Security clawback rule looks like today in 2026. I'll show you the 3 official forms that can legally stop the withholding and in some situations completely erase the debt. And I'll give you 3 exact action steps you can take this week. But I need you to stay until the end of this video because there's one hidden mistake almost every senior makes when this letter arrives. It's a quiet mistake, an invisible mistake, and it has cost retirees thousands upon thousands of dollars. I'll explain it near the end, so please don't skip ahead. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret is 69 years old. She lives in a small single-story home outside Charlotte, North Carolina. Her husband died 6 years ago. Her 2 adult children live in different states. She has a cat named Biscuit and a little flower garden she takes care of every spring. Margaret spent 38 years working as a school secretary. She raised her children. She paid into Social Security from every paycheck. Today, her monthly benefit is $1,820. That's everything for her. That money covers the mortgage, the property taxes, the arthritis medications, and the gasoline for her aging Honda. 2 years ago, Margaret began helping her elderly neighbor a few hours each week. The neighbor's family paid her $200 weekly for helping out. Margaret assumed it was simply kindness money. She didn't think it counted as actual income. She never contacted Social Security. She never reported it. Then last March, a letter showed up. The Social Security Administration claimed she had been overpaid $6,400. They said her monthly benefit would be reduced by 50% beginning in 30 days. Margaret sat on her couch staring at the letter for nearly an hour. Then she looked at her bank statements. Then she cried. She had no idea what to do. She believed she had no options. She thought she would have to sell the house and move in with her daughter. She believed her independence was gone forever. But Margaret was wrong. She had rights. She had legal protections. She had access to 3 official forms sitting free on a government website. And my friend, that is exactly why I'm recording this video for you today. Now let me explain what is really happening with this clawback rule, because there has been a lot of confusion and many frightening headlines. Here's the truth directly from the Social Security Administration's official announcements. Back in March of 2024, Social Security had a relatively gentle policy. If they accidentally overpaid you, they could recover only 10% of your monthly check. That gave seniors at least some breathing room. Then on March 7, 2025, the acting commissioner of Social Security announced something shocking. They planned to take back 100% of your monthly benefit until the entire overpayment was repaid. The full check. $0 deposited until the debt disappeared. The public backlash was massive. AARP pushed back. Members of Congress raised concerns. Disability advocates demanded changes. Then on April 25, 2025, Social Security quietly reversed course. They issued an emergency internal message to employees. The new standard clawback rate became 50%, not 100%. 50%. So let me speak honestly because I will never mislead you. The headlines you may have seen about a full 100% clawback are no longer the current rule. The current rule published on SSA.gov is 50% of your Social Security retirement, survivor, disability, or family benefit check. For SSI recipients, the withholding rate remains just 10%. But here's why this still matters deeply. 50% is still 5 times harsher than the rule back in 2024. For Margaret, that means $910 disappearing from her monthly benefit every single month. For many seniors, these withholdings continue for years. And here's the part most Americans don't understand. Most of these so-called overpayments are not caused by the retiree. The Social Security Office of Inspector General reported in July 2024 that improper payments account for less than 1% of all benefits paid. And many of those mistakes come from inside the agency itself. Incorrect data entry, outdated systems, lost paperwork, computer errors, glitches. You end up punished for mistakes you didn't create. That is the painful reality. Now let me give you the tools you can use to fight back. Write these down. Pause this video if necessary. There are 3 official forms you absolutely need to know. The first is Form SSA-632-BK. This is known as the Request for Waiver of Overpayment Recovery. You use this form when the overpayment was not your fault, and repaying it would create serious financial hardship. If Social Security approves the waiver, the entire debt disappears completely. You owe nothing. And here is the best part. There is no filing deadline for this waiver. You can submit it anytime, even after collection has already started. The second form is SSA-634. This is called the Request for Change in Overpayment Recovery Rate. You use this form when you acknowledge the debt but cannot survive losing 50% of your monthly benefit. You can ask Social Security to reduce the monthly withholding to something realistic for your budget. Maybe $50 a month, maybe $75, whatever amount actually works for your finances. This is your main defense for protecting your monthly income. The third form is SSA-561. This is the Request for Reconsideration, also called an appeal. You use this form when you believe Social Security made an error. Maybe you were never overpaid. Maybe the amount is inaccurate. Maybe they're using outdated income information. You have 60 days from the notice date to file this appeal. And here is the most powerful sentence from Social Security's own official press release. I want you to write this down. The agency does not pursue collections while an initial appeal or waiver remains pending. That means the second you file one of these forms, the clawback stops. They cannot remove a single dollar from your check while your case is under review. That is your legal shield. That is your protection. And nobody will tell you unless you ask. Now here are the 3 exact action steps I want you to take today, this week. Please do not delay. Step 1. The moment you receive any letter from the Social Security Administration, never ignore it. Never throw it away. Never assume it's fake. Open it immediately. Read every word carefully. Circle the date printed on the letter. That date starts the clock ticking. You have 30 days before withholding begins and 60 days to file a formal appeal. Every day matters. Step 2. Contact Social Security directly at 1-800-77-21213 or visit your local Social Security office in person. Never call a random number you found on Google, through a text message, or on social media. Scam calls targeting seniors are everywhere right now. Use only the official number. Tell them you received an overpayment notice and want to request a waiver, a reduced recovery rate, or an appeal. You can also download all 3 forms directly from SSA.gov. Always type the website yourself. Never click a link sent through email. Step 3. Keep detailed records of everything. Every letter from Social Security, every submitted form, every pay stub, every bank statement, every phone call, including the date and the representative's name. If you mail documents, use certified mail with return receipt requested. If you submit forms online through your My Social Security account, take screenshots. Documentation is your strongest weapon when dealing with any federal agency. Now, I promised you a hidden mistake, the one mistake costing retirees thousands of dollars. Here it is. The biggest mistake is silence. Doing absolutely nothing. Assuming the letter is final. Believing you have no rights and no choices. Most seniors who lose money through these clawbacks never file a waiver. They never file an appeal. They never even make the phone call. They simply accept the loss. They cut back on groceries. They skip medications. They cancel doctor appointments. They struggle quietly. Meanwhile, Form SSA-632-BK is sitting there, free to download, capable of wiping away the entire debt if they qualify. But nobody submits it because nobody told them it existed. Now you know, and now you can take action. Margaret, the woman I mentioned earlier, learned about Form SSA-632-BK and completed it at her kitchen table. She explained that she misunderstood the income reporting rules. She showed how tight her monthly budget was. She documented genuine financial hardship. 8 weeks later, another letter arrived. The entire $6,400 debt was forgiven completely. Her full benefit check returned. She kept her house, she kept Biscuit, she kept her independence. That is what knowledge can do. That is what these forms can do for you or someone you care about. So here is my final message to you, my friend. Please, please do not depend on YouTube notifications to stay updated about your benefits. Algorithms change constantly. Videos get buried. Critical updates never reach you. Social Security rules shift quietly, sometimes through internal memos the public never sees. Bookmark SSA.gov. Bookmark AARP.org. Create a free My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount and review it at least once every month. Open every government letter the same day it arrives. Speak with your spouse, your children, or a trusted friend about your benefits so someone else understands your situation if something happens to you. And if this video helped you today, please do one small favor for me. Share it with one senior you care about, just one. A neighbor, a brother, a sister, a church friend, because the next Social Security letter could appear in their mailbox, and they deserve to know exactly what to do. Stay informed, stay protected, and I will see you in the next video.